Hi guys. So I just got done filming about a 29-minute, 30-minute sun salutation practice. Not a super intense practice, more of kind of just playing with some more gentle versions of sun salutation and just some suggestions as to how you can strengthen your own back if, like me, you struggle a little bit with back issues. So what I wanted to do now is another brief gentle yoga class. This one's going to be a lot of seated. Maybe we'll even start lying down. I think that would be a great idea. In the background I have a strap. That's all I brought down with me today. It's really quiet. David's upstairs sleeping, resting. He needs it. Keeping us afloat here. So I wanted to just share a little bit of healing practice. I don't know quite what I'm going to do yet, just kind of moving you through. So I'm going to head over to the mat, wait for you guys to join me. It's a little candle in the background. I heard something about, Britney Spears having kind of burned her gym down because of a candle, or maybe candles. I'm not quite sure what the full story was. But I have a strap here. I'm going to set it to where my head is going to be at some point. So I do want us to start in a little bit of a cross-legged seat. If you need a yoga block to prop yourself up, please use it. So I'm going to sit in, actually I think I'm going to go full lotus tonight. I don't recommend this if you have any knee injuries, just a regular cross-legged seat. Ask you to pull the flesh out from beneath you. You look at the time here, trying to keep it within 30 minutes. So I want you to rest your hands on your lap, close your eyes, and go and sense into your seat. So feel the right and left sits bones root into the mat. And as you sit and feel the sits bones root down, feel the outer thighs root down. And draw the shoulders back. Rest your hands on your lap and feel your hands touching down. Really feel that connection. Feel the shoulders glide down. Feel the elbows kind of draw in toward one another, and keep your chin parallel to the mat as you feel like a string pulls the crown of your head up. And as your body aligns, start to notice your breathing. Each in-breath expanding your abdomen, rib cage, and chest. And each out-breath creating a subtle recoiling inward of the chest, rib cage, and abdomen. Relax your jaws, relax your eyebrows here. Release the furrow of the brow. And while you're sitting here, I'd like you to place your hands on your knees and exhale. Tilt your tailbone between your thighs, hollow out your belly, round your spine, draw the chin slightly towards your chest. Feel the stretch in the mid-back, let the shoulders descend. Good, then inhale, draw your tailbone back, lift your chest, allow your collarbones to broaden, and open your eyes, looking up toward the ceiling, and feel the stretch here in the front of the neck. Now we'll inhale, return the spine to center. Draw your shoulders back. Good. Now we're going to go ahead and rotate the upper body to the right. So we're going to exhale, take the left arm to the outside of the right thigh, the right arm is behind you. As you do this, draw the left hip back so the hips and pelvis are squared. Notice I'm dropping my shoulders. I'm going to inhale, elongate my spine, then I'm going to exhale, add a little twist. Let's do that again. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, rotate. Good, another breath like this. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, rotate. Now we're going to inhale, return to center. Draw the shoulders back, and then we'll exhale, rotate the upper body to the left. So the right arm to the outside of the left thigh, left arm is behind you. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist. Another breath cycle like this. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, twist. Good, one more breath. Good, now we'll inhale, return the spine to center. Keeping the cross of the legs, draw the shoulders back. We're going to exhale, hinge from the hips. Keep sending your chest forward and bring your hands down, or maybe your forearms, elbows down. I'm going to turn my palms up for a little bit. I'm going to line my elbows up underneath my shoulders. I'm going to draw my shoulders back and chest forward. I'm going to focus on rooting my seat. So I really want you to feel your sits bones root down into the mat, pull your belly in. So whether you're on your palms or whether you're on your forearms, I want you to be here, present, pressing down, drawing the shoulders back, rooting the seat, and drawing the chest forward. Connect to your breath. Now I'm kind of lifting my hands up a little bit, drawing my fingers toward me. If you can do this, go ahead. You'll feel a stretch along the front of the wrists. So while we've been kind of in this COVID-19 scenario, I've had a lot of time to just, you know, really practice on what I need to practice on in terms of my body and in terms of just kind of dealing with whatever comes next, and a lot of, you know, false starts and stressful times. And, you know, David's been great in terms of dealing with when I freak out. So, you know, often I have tension in my hands now because I'm doing a lot of working out, and I'm doing a lot of planks and doing a lot of stuff like that to kind of channel. So nice stretch here. I guess that was the long way of saying that. I want you to relax your arms, turn your palms down if they were lifted, and return to center. Now I'm going to ask you to switch the cross of the legs, the opposite leg in front or on top. You don't have to do half lotus or full lotus. You could just sit cross-legged. It's perfectly fine. Everybody's bodies are different. Draw the shoulders back. So now we're going to do slightly different, okay? So we are going to start this time by exhaling and twisting to the left. Right arm to the outside of the left thigh. Left arm is behind you. Draw your right hip back. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, add a little more twist. Again, inhale, lift, lengthen. And again, exhale, twist. Good, now on the next in breath, I want you to return to center, but then I want you to exhale halfway so that your chest is roughly in line with that left knee. Frame your left leg, root the right seat. So I'm immediately pressing my right buttock down. Then you're going to exhale, hinge and fold over that left leg. You can stay on your palms or you can come to your forearms. So I'm not going to push myself today or right now, maybe in another pose I will. I'm feeling the stretch here along the right side of my rib cage into the intercostal muscles. I'm trying to draw my shoulders back. Now for this one, I think I'm going to turn my palms to face one another and press down into the mat with my hands. I'm going to lengthen the back of my neck. So this isn't lengthening the back of the neck, right? That's lengthening the front of the neck. Lengthening the back of the neck is kind of dropping your chin. Feel the right sits bone root down. Now we're going to keep the left hand down. We're going to inhale, open the right arm up, and I want you to almost imagine like you're just pulling a string, reaching your arm up, line the wrist up with the shoulder, and then, see, notice how my rib cage is jutting up? I want you to drop that rib cage, draw the shoulders back, and almost reach at a diagonal at this point, and look towards your right wrist. Breathe. So you're going to feel a bit of work happening here now as opposed to just stretch. So it's almost like you're trying to draw that lower rib cage toward the upper hip. This can be a lot of work. I mean, if you wanted, you could float that left elbow up, and even though it's a gentle class, you can feel how those obliques kick in, right? And even your neck muscles have to work to keep your neck safe. Good, now we're going to inhale, sit up, and I want you to feel the difference for a moment. Kind of quiet here, certainly engaged here. So now we're going to rotate the upper body to the right as we exhale. Left arm to the outside of the right thigh, right arm is behind you. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, add a gentle twist. And again, inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, gentle twist. Now, as we inhale, we're going to come back to center, but then we're going to exhale and rotate a bit to the right, chest in line with the knee. So we're going to take the hands on either side of that right leg. I'm going to root my left seat down. I'm going to inhale, prepare to hinge, and then exhale, hinge, placing the forearms down on the mat if you can. Otherwise, it's palms down, right? Elbows up off the mat. Keep rooting the left seat and feel that stretch here along the left rib cage, the left hip, and elongate your spine. Find your breath. Draw the shoulders back and the chest forward. Now we're going to add on. So we're going to keep the right arm down. We're going to inhale, open the left arm up. Notice how my rib cage is jutting up. So I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to drop that left rib cage. I'm going to reach more at a diagonal, looking toward my wrist. And then maybe lift the right arm up and feel the obliques work. So you're going to feel like that lower rib cage is going, it's being drawn toward that upper hip. Breathe. Keep engaging, keep the neck nice and long, connect to your breath. Good. Then we're going to inhale, sit on up, and you're now going to feel both sides go strong. Draw the shoulders back, Actually let's do hands to the mat. Fingertips to the mat, inhale, draw the tailbone back, lift your chest, maybe look up and exhale, hinge from your hips and fold, and maybe this time you walk your hands out and you bring your forehead toward or to the mat. Feel the lower back stretch. And if you're almost at the mat or not even or anywhere near the mat, you can use a yoga block if you think you can touch down onto the yoga block that brings the earth up towards you. Soften the knees, lengthen your spine, and connect to your breath. Then we'll slowly inhale, bring the spine back up. So from here, we're just going to uncross the legs. I'm going to turn to face the short side of my mat. So I'm going to go ahead and bring us down. So we're going to walk the heels in toward the buttocks, keeping the knees about hip point width. We're just going to wrap the arms around the shins and just rock a little bit left and right. So what you're trying to do is create a nice long line to the spine, ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips, and I'm just rocking a little bit left and right. My feet are not cooperating today. They want to go really light, so clearly I'm not grounded today. So now I'm going to extend my left leg straight out and flex my left foot. My second toe is going to line up with my left hip. I'm going to bring that right heel a little closer toward me. I'm going to wrap my arms around my right shin and sit up nice and tall. This right foot does not want to stay down today. Breathe. Then I'm just going to go ahead and rock back and bring my right leg with me. So I'm hugging that knee in. Notice I'm keeping my left leg nice and heavy. Trying to keep my chest toward my thigh, and I'm breathing. A little bit of an intense thing for a gentle clasp, but we're going to do that. Inhale, sit on up. Exhale, bend the left knee, bring the left sole of the foot in. Then extend your right leg out. Wrap your arms around the left shin, really sit up nice and tall, drop the shoulders, flex your right foot, second toe lines up with the hip point. And then we're going to keep the spine long. We're just going to go ahead, exhale, rock slightly back. Lengthen both sides of the waist, connect to your breath, really pull your belly in. Draw the shoulders back. Notice I'm trying to keep my chin parallel to the earth. You never want to take your chin up because then you're going to draw into your neck. Then we're going to inhale, sit up. Nice tall spine, hopefully. Exhale, straighten out the left leg. So you're going to pull the flesh out from beneath you a little bit. Root both sits bones down. Imagine that you could take your tailbone back. So once you feel that action of the tailbone going back, the hip points kind of tilting forward, right? Like you're spilling something out of your pelvis. Flex the feet, take your hands kind of halfway along your legs. Again, remember I have really long arms in proportion, right? Kind of out of proportion. So it's a little easier, I make it look a little easier than it is. Take your hands wherever works for you, and I want you to hinge halfway down. Notice how I'm starting to draw my chin up. I don't want you to do that. I want you to drop it. Flex your feet. Lengthen your spine, soften your chest, and be present here. So not necessarily maybe at the max stretch. So I just noticed that I was rounding my back. I want to lift my spine up a little bit. Send my chest forward. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings. Flex your feet. Root the sits bones down. Good, now we're going to inhale, sit on up. We're going to reach the arms in front of us, and I want you to dive forward as your mid-back goes back. Ears between the upper arms. Those of you who can't reach your feet, just gonna hold here. Feel the mid-back stretch. Those of you who can, I want you to catch the balls of the feet, round your spine, and lean back a little bit. You're still in that deep C. This is more of a Pilates thing. It's a nice thing about being certified in both, right? And knowing kind of a little, knowing a lot about both. It's just bringing them together to kind of maximize practices. I want you to feel that mid-back really stretch and belly pulls in here. Just a couple more breaths. Keep drawing the shoulders back. Good, then we're going to inhale, rebuild the spine. Arms reach out, plug the shoulders in. Then we're going to exhale, tilt the tailbone between the thighs. And I want you to just go halfway down. Hold here, deep C spine. The tailbone goes forward. You're creating like a hollow back. And point your toes, drop the chin. I want you to hold that there for a moment. It's more of a Pilates thing as well. And then you're going to rock back another inch or so. Keep rounding, draw the shoulders back. Keep pulling the low belly in. And then again, we're going to exhale, come down, approaching mid-back. Keep drawing the shoulders back, hold. You might get a little shakier here. And the next exhale, drop down and release. Maybe placing your hands on your rib cage. I'm going to let my feet drop out for a moment. I'm going to widen my legs because I feel a little bit of tension in my right hip.
So it's important to notice these things. Notice what's going on with your body, right? That's yoga. What is going on? What am I in awareness of? And what can I do to address that? Good, now we're just gonna bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Walk the heels in toward your buttocks. Keep the legs about hip width. Lengthen your spine. And make sure you're in neutral so you have a little bit of a space beneath there, the lumbar spine. Place your hands on either side of your hips. I like to touch my feet, but again, long arms, so I can do so. Press your shoulders and hands down into the mat. We're gonna inhale, tilt the tailbone up, and just imprint the low back. See, my buttocks are just slightly tilting up. My low back is in. I'm gonna pull my belly in, lower rib cage toward the upper hips. If you place your hands here at the low belly, you can feel that firing. Gently feeling the muscles. If you take your hands to your lower buttocks, right there where the hamstring and kind of the booty muscles meet, you're gonna feel that work. And then I want you to exhale and release it, return to neutral. Let's do that again. Exhale, tilt your tailbone up, squeeze the buttocks, feel lower ribs toward the upper hips. Nice kind of flat back pressing into the mat. And then exhale, release. We're gonna do that one more time. We're gonna go ahead, exhale, tilt the tailbone up, lower ribs toward the upper hips there, pull the belly in, maybe feel that contraction here in the low belly. Now press your hands to the mat. We're gonna keep that contraction, squeeze the buttocks, peel the lower back up. So now I can get my hand underneath my lower back, but not my mid back. Good, keep those knees tracking straight ahead. Pull the belly and think lower ribs toward the upper hips. So this is not super gentle, but it is gentle on the back, right? So our back body's working, but it's strengthening. So our buttocks are really working right now. Feel that work. Pull the abdominals in. So the front of the body is going to stretch, the back body is going to work to strengthen that posterior chain. So now we're going to lift up a little higher. So now my mid back is up, but my shoulders are down, pressing down into the mat and pulling my belly in. And I'm not going for that full kind of like rib cage, chest expansive kind of thing. I'm actually drawing in a little more of a kind of a Pilates approach to it. Still tracking my knees straight ahead into two parallel lines. And press your arms down to lift your hips up a little higher. Keep pulling the belly in. Lengthen the tailbone away from you. It's a nice thing to think about. Shins away from you, knees away from you, heels towards you. Stepping down into the mat. Press the shoulders down. Now we're just going to roll down the upper back. Your glutes should be talking to you. Good, then the middle back. Notice my low back is still off the ground. Then the lower back, hips, and buttocks. So now I just have my neutral spine, lengthening my tailbone. So the next bridge we're going to do is going to be more of a yoga neutral bridge. So arms are down on either side of your body. So the neutral bridge here is going to be step into the feet, inhale, lift everything up, hips and spine. So now you can stay here. Nice enough bridge. I don't have the biggest spinal extension, probably never will, and that's okay. If you have a bigger one, you may notice a difference. The option is to interlace the fingers underneath you, walk the shoulders underneath you, lift the hips up, lift the chest up, and the more you can get those shoulders under, the more you're going to get a little bit of more stretch in the chest and shoulders. Those of you with a little more lift can take your hands to the small of the back, fingertips pointing towards your buttocks. You may need to widen the legs a little bit and get onto your triceps and elbows. Almost no weight in your head or neck. Breathe. This is a big stretch for me. I did a lot of flexion today. I did work on my yoga wheel, doing some extension, which maybe I'll show you in the future, but still feeling tight. So I'm going to drop my shoulders, straighten my arms, and I'm going to slowly exhale, neutral, release down. Once you've neutral, released down, I want you to bring the soles of the feet together, the knees apart, and maybe press your hands on your inner thighs. So again, I have pretty open hips, so for me this is quite wide and expansive. I don't expect everybody's to be like that. Some of you are going to have deeper, some of you not as deep. So just be mindful. Just feel the soles of the feet connect. Feel the outer thighs drop. Lengthen your tailbone. And just find your breath. Relaxing tension. Maybe rest your hands on your inner thighs for a little bit and just let gravity take over. So we, often fight gravity, especially in fitness, right? Trying to keep ourselves looking younger, resisting the pull of gravity. But in some of these yoga poses, we want to go with it. Like maybe even the arms open out like they would in Shavasana. And just release. Breathe. Connect to your breaths. Get those inner thighs to stretch. Get those the front of the hips to open. Good, then we're gonna go ahead, assist those inner thighs toward one another. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Untuck the shoulders if they've gotten tucked. So from here, we're gonna inhale, bring the right knee into tabletop, cross the right ankle over the left quadricep, and just take figure 4 here, keeping the left sole of the foot to the mat. So notice how I was tipping to the right. I want you to go ahead and press evenly into the left side as well. Now instead of doing our traditional figure 4, we're going to do a little tree pose here on our backs. We're going to straighten out the left leg, keep the right foot flexed, place your hands on your hip points, and make sure that the right hip point is not dipping and the left hip point is not lifting. So there's a little bit of work, right? That outer thigh is going to try to draw away as the inner thigh is going to try to press down. So you have to find that balance, right? You're going to flex your left foot. So imagine you were in a standing tree pose or a standing figure 4 tree. Breathe. Keep checking the time because I want to kind of stick within the range of a little bit shorter classes so you guys have those options. Good, then what we're going to do is inhale, bring the sole of the left foot to the earth. Keep your figure 4, keep that left hip heavy. Now we're going to inhale, bring that left knee in toward us, tracking the right knee away. So I'm going to take my right hand, just press into my right thigh. So notice I did not say knee, said thigh. I'm actually going to take my left hand to my left hamstring, pull my left leg toward me as I'm pressing my right leg away. Just a little different variation. Flexing my feet so I'm stabilizing my knees. Relax the shoulders, right? They're going to do work, but I don't want them to hike up. Then exhale, release the left foot. Release the right foot and just straighten the right leg for a moment. Flex the foot. Let this hip flexor release. Let that residual kind of just release down the leg. Good, now we're going to bring the right sole of the foot to the mat. Inhale, lift the left leg up, and then cross the left ankle over the right quad and just kind of pause there. Be present. Drawing the left outer thigh away. Notice if you're tipping to the left, I was tipping a little bit there. Anchor both hip points down. You just place your hands on your hip points, right? Be tactile. Some of us need the tactile cues. And then we're going to exhale, straighten out the right leg. Take that figure 4. Generally, there are lots of ways people learn, but generally, right, we have visual, auditory, kinesthetic, right? So visual, you need to see it. You're watching me do the practice. Auditory, you need really explicit verbal cues. Tactile, need to be touched, maybe adjusted, put in the pose. Most of us use all 3 to some extent. I tend to be more auditory, which is why I like to talk a lot, and a little less visual, more kinesthetic in terms of I need to be in a pose. So it's just nice to kind of have all 3 delivered. And when you're doing it like this, where we're not together in person, I can't touch you, you can always kind of place your hands on your own body. Now we're going to go ahead and bring the right sole of the foot to the mat. I'm going to place my left hand to my left inner thigh a little bit here. Remember, away from the knee, closer to the hip. Now we're going to bring that right leg up. I'm going to take my hand to my hamstring, flex my feet, and I'm going to draw my right leg toward me as I send my left leg away. So really deepening the stretch. You're going to notice your arms get a little bit of work here. Good, then we're going to release the right sole of the foot down. We're going to cross the left leg and just let it drop, flexing the left foot. Just let that kind of downward release go. Good. So now we're going to bend the left knee. We're going to heel toe the feet to the edges of the mat. And we're going to let the knees drop in toward one another. Undo any shoulder tension, right? Open the arms out to T. So I'm going to work palms up. Palms up are a little less supportive. Palms down a little more supportive. Gets you out of your shoulders. But tonight, I'm going to work palms up. So now I'm going to start to the right side. We're going to release both knees to the right. So notice that my right foot is at the edge of the mat and my left foot is still at the edge of the mat. Often when I see people do this twist, they move their back leg. I want you on purpose to keep your back leg toward the back side of the mat. So you get that internal rotation And that left hip flexor is going to get that unique stretch. Flex your left foot so you keep your knee safe. Those of you who want to can stay here, or if you want to deepen your stretch, you just add that figure 4 here. Keeping the back leg as is, you just cross the right ankle over the left quad, drop the right knee down, and breathe. Just be present here. Keep the left shoulder down to stabilize. And you're turning your head, ideally to the left. You can always stay centered or to the right, entirely up to you. I'm going to turn to the left. Feeling that big stretch in that left hip, and you can even send that left hip a little more to the right to get more stretch and activate the muscles of the left buttock. And then we're going to uncross the right leg, and we're going to bring the soles of the feet back to the mat, drop the inner knees toward one another, undo any shoulder tension, keep that back foot, right, which will be the right foot, keep it where it is. I'm going to release the knees to the left and the head to the right. So notice I'm flexing my back foot, I'm lengthening my hip away. You can see what this looks like from here. You should feel a big stretch in the front of the hip. Notice that my right shoulder is down, my right arm is going to be down. So you can stay here, drawing that right hip to the left, activating your buttock muscle. If you want to add the figure 4, you just cross the left ankle over the right quad, flexing the foot, dropping the left outer thigh down, and getting that stretch there in that right hip flexor. Turning your head to the right here. As before, you can go center or left, but right, the complete kind of twist would be to just turn your head to the right and get the neck stretch as well. Flex your feet to stabilize the knee. Okay, then we're going to uncross the left leg foot to the edge of the mat. We're going to inhale, bring the nose and knees back to center, and then we're going to walk the heels in toward the buttocks. So we're going to untuck the shoulders. Carefully inhale, bring the right knee into the chest, straighten out your left leg, and just hold here. And all I want you to do is pendulum your right leg, left and right. I love this for releasing some tension, right? You can really feel the thigh bone into the hip socket here. Now turn those pendulums into little circles. So your arms are doing the work, the leg is just going along for the ride. Try not to put pressure on the knee, and then reverse the circles. Good. And then we're just going to bring the right sole of the foot down, straighten the right leg, and just be present there for a little bit. You'll feel that release. Good. Now bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Bring the left knee in towards you, and straighten out that right leg. And we're just going to hold here for a moment and then just pendulum left and right. Do you believe I can't remember if I had my left leg straight on the other side? I hope I did. I think I did. And then we're going to draw circles. Remember, the arms do the work. Relaxing the shoulders. And you'll notice, if you look at your forearms, they will be doing work. And then reverse direction. Good. And then we're going to bring the left sole of the foot down and just straighten out the legs. Now from here, let your feet drop out toward the corners of the mat so there's an external rotation of the thighs. Release your arms down by your hips, palms up, so the shoulders lie flush, and the arms are just kind of 45 degrees away from you. Ultimately, didn't use the strap. That's okay. Take a few moments, close your eyes, and start to feel the connection of your body to the mat. So it's a big part of this practice is feeling and resting. And it's hard to be still. I'm with you. You know, it's ironic that the older I've gotten and the more practice I've done, the harder it's actually gotten for me, especially lately, to be in a space of restfulness and stillness. There's a lot on my mind, there's a lot of worries I'm trying to let go of that I'm working on. And I think that's the case for all of us right now. Can we be present here? Can we feel the skull bone touch down on the mat? Can we feel the shoulders touch down on the mat? What about the triceps, the elbows and forearms, tops of the hands, and let the fingers be slightly curled. Feel the upper back touch the mat, the lumbar spine move slightly away, the sacrum and buttocks connect to the mat. Feel the back of the thighs wherever, if they connect, wherever they connect to the ground. Some people they do, some people they don't. The calves touch the ground. The heels touch the ground. And then feel the front of the body. Perhaps a breeze on your skin, on your face. The rise and fall of the abdomen, rib cage, and chest. The centers of both palms. The quadriceps, the kneecaps, shins. Tops of the feet. Finding your breath. And try to allow the mind to be quiet, quietly tracking the breath, quietly feeling the body. And soften your jaws and find your breath. Let's take a moment and just begin to rotate the ankles in reverse direction. And then rotate your wrists. And then reverse. And then reach your arms up toward the ceiling, plug your shoulders in, spread your fingers out wide, and then shake your arms out. Good. And then rest your hands on your lap, keep saying lap today. Rest your hands on your hips, and bring your legs in. Bring the legs to tabletop, knees over the hips, heels slightly higher than the knees, feel the belly engage. Straighten your legs out, shake your legs out a little bit. Shake, 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 shake. Good, now flex your feet, ankles over the hips, stick your hands to your hamstrings, exhale, curl up. Lengthen the back of the neck, hug the inner elbows in. Then bend your knees and slowly roll up
to a cross-legged seat. So that was not my most graceful way up, but it is what it is today. So taking a moment and coming to your cross-legged seat. Rest your hands on your lap. Just turn the palms up, resting one hand on top of the other. And I'd like you to take a moment to just connect to whatever you're feeling right now. And try not to attach a label to it, a good or a bad. Just kind of let it be. Good, now let's switch the cross of the legs. Opposite leg in front or on top. Again, this time switch the hands, rest opposite hand on top. Just breathe. I'm not even closing my eyes, I'm just gazing down, keeping my spine tall, and just giving my mind a moment. And actually it's been pretty quiet the past couple of minutes. And bring the palms together in prayer, bow your chin towards your chest, and take a moment to practice gratitude. Grateful for someone and something today. Om Shanti, Om Peace to each of you. Hope you enjoyed tonight's gentle practice and benefited from it. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.